All right, guys. So I'm going to show you guys how I made $5,000 today by trading the Nasdaq. And I was able to basically take advantage of all the news that's going on with Trump's tariffs and everything, like everyone knows. But what I did was very simple. As we can see, the market has been very bearish because of Trump's tariffs. So already, obviously, my bias was to the downside. As we can see, we've been dropping 900, 1,000 points at a time. So this was simply just, waiting for my technique to show and looking for my strategy, coupled with just timing because I did miss the Sunday evening open where we went ahead and went to the downside, by I think over 700 points. So I felt like I kind of missed out on that, but I knew that once the market officially opened on Monday, I'd be able to capture, some of that because what I did, something that really stuck out to me is the gap that formed here. And if we know anything about gaps, they usually, this is just this is a complete price void, right? Because there's no, trading volume in here. It's just thin liquidity, creating a complete gap. So once I saw price come back in to this gap to at least 50% of that threshold, that's when I knew I would be able to go ahead and look for my sells. And one thing I noticed also here was boom, we see relatively equal highs. So I know that that was the actual liquidity, sell side, buy side liquidity being set there. And the next thing I'd like to look for is a run on liquidity, basically a fake out, right? So I knew that the market was going to try to fake us out to the upside, which you got here in a late London session. But once market opened, I'm sorry, here, we'll go ahead and mark that. So this is here, that run on liquidity. So what this is doing here is trying to get induce marker buyers into, to go long on these positions, right? So they're trying to induce people to go long here. This is something that you have to recognize, right? We're not going long here. It's actually, we're still anticipating sales at the open, right? So once we have that, I can refine our price action down a little bit further. And we'll also see that there is another imbalance here in this price range, right in between this candle and this candle. So the 50% of that threshold would be our entry. So where I got in, I kind of waited a little bit. I like to wait for, as I mentioned, the first confirmation being liquidity, second being a run on that liquidity inducement or fake out, whatever you want to call it. And especially, now we're finding it down to that last candle where we're getting that inverted fair value gap. So that inverted fair value gap is what I'm looking for. So some things that I'm looking to pay attention to is a close below this candle, right? So this was a first candle, say downside candle that actually closes below this candle. And we went to the downside more. And after I get that first downside candlestick closure, I like to wait for it to come back into the fair value gap. As we start to see some rejections here leading up to the market open. Now, I'm seeing exactly what I like to see. At once markets opened, I timed my entry maybe a couple minutes before it opens because I didn't want to miss it. So I enter right about here. And I can refine this down more. We get our entry right where we want it. And remember, because of the tariffs and everything, volatility is insane right now. So usually we were looking at about a average move was about 110 to 150 points. It's about double that. Average move might be 300 to 700, maybe even 900. So we're looking at double, triple the amount of volatility. Because as you can see, what happened after, market went ahead and reversed for a whole 1,300 points. And I don't know who's catching that or catching that full move, but that's not something I look for. But this was meeting everything in my criteria, right? This trade is not for us. Maybe it's some people's strategy, but I was completely fine taking this trade because it met everything that had to do with my criteria to take a high quality trade. So I saw everything I like to see. Once I saw price starting to fall, went ahead and took that sell. I got out right at the perfect time. As soon as it kind of took this here sell side liquidity and captured that whole maybe 275 points out of that, which netted me about $5,000, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's not 1,300 points, but we're not greedy. We're not in this to always make the ridiculous big home runs. It's about doing what we know consistently works over time. So yeah, that was what I got. Right now, I'm just being very reactive. I'm not looking to chase any trades. I'm actually considering going back into some forex pairs just because of how I don't really love how volatile these markets are. These type of swings, yeah, they might be great to catch, but if it happens, it happens. But that's not something I'm gonna necessarily look to go ahead and try and chase. What I'm gonna do is focus on the trades that meet my, I guess, characteristics and confirmations to fit to my strategy, and just stay disciplined in that. And if it doesn't, I'll stay at the markets and just avoid this whole, bloodbath. And that's what I did all last week. I didn't take any trades last week. Just kind of waited, and it worked out. Had a really good day, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. But yeah, I hope you guys really liked my breakdown. I'm gonna leave a link below. I am doing live trading. I do have a group in Discord where I'm trading live every morning. So if you guys want to go ahead and join that, I'll leave the link below, as well as my Instagram. I post a lot of my trading ideas there. But I really just want to help people grow. It's been a great journey for me, and I feel like a lot of people can really take this approach, and not just the skill set and technical analysis, but mostly the psychological. That's something that wasn't taught to me. I think having someone that's really going to go over the trading psychology and what it takes, to weather these storms, or, psychologically, I had to change my trading with these tariffs. And basically, I can share a lot of those things, with someone like me having 6 years experience, what that might, actually look like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys subscribe below and like the video, and look out for more content.